The Iranian ambassador to Australia has 7 days to leave the country because he has been expelled. This is a first for Australia since the Second World War, the first time they've expelled an ambassador. And at the core of this is an explosive allegation. Last year, Australia witnessed 2 anti-Jewish attacks. Their intelligence team began an investigation. The investigation went on for months, and now finally the report is out. It says that Iran was behind the attacks. Australia has accused Tehran of directing anti-Semitic attacks on Australian soil. It has partially severed diplomatic ties with Tehran. It has suspended operations at its embassy in Iran. It has expelled the Iranian envoy along with some other officials. Iran has, of course, rejected the allegations. Meanwhile, Israel has praised Australia, which is also quite interesting, because just a few days back, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu had called his Australian counterpart, and I'm quoting, a weak politician who abandoned Australia's Jews. Here's a report.
On October 10th, 2024, a kosher cafe in Sydney, the Lewis Continental Kitchen, was attacked. About 2 months later, on December 6th, the Adass Israel Synagogue in Melbourne came under attack. In both these cases, there were no casualties. But in both incidents, assailants set fire to the properties, causing a lot of damage and sending shockwaves through Australia. So the government set out to investigate the matter. The Australian Security Intelligence Organisation probed the matter. And finally, the finding is out. According to the ASIO, Iran was behind the attacks. Canberra has accused Tehran of directing anti-Semitic attacks on its soil.
ASIO has now gathered enough credible intelligence to reach a deeply disturbing conclusion that the Iranian government directed at least 2 of these attacks. These were extraordinary and dangerous acts of aggression orchestrated by a foreign nation on Australian soil. They were attempts to undermine social cohesion and sow discord in our community.
So now, the Australian government has partially severed diplomatic ties with Iran. Canberra has withdrawn its own diplomats from Tehran. The Iranian ambassador in Australia has been expelled. He has been given 7 days to leave. This is the first time since the Second World War that Australia has expelled an ambassador. The government has also urged Australians not to travel to Iran. But that's not all. The Australian intelligence services say that they have uncovered links between the attacks and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. This is a branch of the Iranian military. It plays a key role in the country's defense and regional operations. The Australian government has accused it of using a complex web of proxies to hide its involvement in the attacks, like members of organized crime gangs. Now, Australia wants to designate IRGC as a terrorist organization. And Tehran is aghast.
The accusation that has been made is absolutely rejected. This decision seems to have been influenced by the internal developments in Australia.
But Israel has praised Australia for its quote-unquote principled stand.
This is a step we have long advocated for. Iran's regime is not only a threat to Jews or Israel, it endangers the entire free world, including Australia.
And the timing is interesting. Australia's ties with Israel have hit a low in recent weeks. Over Canberra's criticism of the famine and war in Gaza, as well as its decision to join France, the UK and Canada in recognizing a Palestinian state at the UN General Assembly in September. So last week, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called his counterpart Anthony Albanese a weak politician who betrayed Israel and abandoned Australia's Jews. So the Albanese government hit back at Netanyahu, saying that strength is not measured by how many people you can blow up or how many children you can leave hungry. But now, Australia is making bold and loud moves to tackle anti-Jewish sentiment in the country. It may well be a ripple effect of Netanyahu's rhetoric, but one thing is clear. Australia-Iran relations have been truncated to the quiet satisfaction of Israel.